Hello, this is Jam Master Daniel 96, and today I'll be going over 6 possibilities on how they could bring the Emperor back in Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And these are just what I personally think that could possibly happen, and it's all speculation, so no right or wrong here. And let's get to it. Coming in at number 1 is I think they could go the Emperor's clone route, similar to what they did in the Expanded Universe / Legends in the Dark Empire comics. And in the Dark Empire comics series, the Emperor has transferred his essence into the bodies of a clone, which he's grown on Biss, and then Luke Skywalker confronts the Emperor's clone and then, is tempted, is kind of on the path of the dark side. Then Leia saves Luke from the Emperor's clone, and Luke defeats the Emperor's clone. And the idea of a resurrected Palpatine, of the Emperor's clone idea, because originally the creators wanted to have someone in a Darth Vader suit, but George Lucas vetoed that, and George Lucas suggested to the writers of Dark Empire that if they found a way to bring back Palpatine, and that's how the Emperor's clone idea came to be. And I did a video a year ago on facts about the Dark Empire series, and you can check that out for yourself to learn more information on that. And I did read Dark Empire in high school, so it's been a while with the comic series and how they could go about a clone Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker. Maybe, they do something similar to Dark Empire. Maybe there was a cloning facility, and then the Emperor transfers his essence and stuff, and then maybe Rey has to confront an Emperor clone, and maybe her and Kylo Ren have to team up to defeat the Emperor's clone, and then maybe the Emperor's clone is the big bad that's been talked about and stuff, and maybe the Emperor's clone is the bigger threat than Snoke. So that's probably a good possibility on how they could do the Emperor's clone, or if they even go that route, they could probably do it even better than I suggested. And moving on to number 2 is probably they could have an illusion like Darth Bane in the Clone Wars series, which is in that one episode where Yoda goes to Moraband and he sees Darth Bane's illusion, and maybe we get to see Palpatine's illusion. Maybe when Rey, Finn, Poe, and Chewbacca and the droids go to the Death Star wreckage, maybe Rey will see the Emperor's, like an illusion of the Emperor there, or something along the lines there. And that's what I think they could do for an illusion part. And moving on to number 3 is a Sentinel, like what we saw in Shattered Empire and the Battlefront 2 campaign. And for those who don't know, there's a Sentinel that the Emperor has, and it has like a message kind of inside him, and it's like a droid, and I'll show you what it looks like. So let me pause this quick. So I'm back, and I'm going to showcase it quick, and it is... So here you go. So that's it right there. So that's what it looks like in that red suit, and that's it right there. And that's more what it looks like, the Sentinel from Shattered Empire and the Battlefront 2 campaign. And so maybe that will appear in the Rise of Skywalker, and maybe it's like something they use in the First Order and stuff. And that's another possibility they could possibly go. And moving on to number 4 is maybe a hologram recording of the Emperor's messages probably before he died, and all that stuff. And maybe, like, that could be another bit when they go to the Death Star wreckage that we see in the trailer. And so we get to see probably all the Emperors. Maybe he had a bunch of messages before he died, and all that, and then, or maybe we get to learn of this so-called contingency plan we've been hearing about, and all that stuff. And moving on to number 5 is we could possibly see a Force vision, and I have all the things listed on a piece of paper. That's why I'm reading off what I have written. And so we could probably see maybe Rey has a Force vision and she sees the Emperor and stuff, or like maybe there'll be another Force vision like how we saw in The Force Awakens. And also in that Force back vision in The Force Awakens, you get to hear Palpatine's laugh in there, and maybe we'll see another one, and then maybe she sees the Emperor in the Force vision, and would be a pretty interesting idea there. And coming in at number 6 is a Sith Force Ghost, and maybe we see the Emperor's Sith Force Ghost. And one of the concepts in the Art of the Last Jedi is where we saw Luke meditate, and there was a Sith Force Ghost behind there, and then maybe they could revisit that concept of a Sith Force Ghost, just like how originally in the Art of the Force Awakens we are revisiting that the Death Star wreckage is in the ocean, so we could possibly see a the revisited idea of a Sith Force Ghost, and I will showcase that. So let me pause this again. So here is the concept art I will show you, right? And sorry, this book is a little too big, but I'll give you a good close-up, and that's what the concept art of a Sith Force Ghost was in the Art of the Last Jedi. As you see Luke meditating, and then you see a Sith Force Ghost, which is red, right behind him. And the idea about the Luke Sith Force Ghost, we've seen dead Jedi come back as blue Force Ghosts. Maybe Sith can come back, and maybe there's something all-powerful mastermind Sith that's controlling whatever dark side it is. We did talk a lot about the final battle frontier for Jedi might be in the spirit realm, so you have to have a bad guy ghost, and that's just a little description it said about it. And so as where the Jedi Force ghosts are blue, so the Sith ones could be red, and just like in the concept art. And maybe they'll, as I said, possibly revisit that idea for a Sith Force Ghost of Palpatine. And those are my 6 ideas on how they could bring the Emperor back in The Rise of Skywalker. And it is confirmed that Palpatine will be returning in Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And that's all I gotta say. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Comment what you think down below. And also, a fun fact, I asked the Resistance broadcast on Twitter, which is a Star Wars podcast, and about how they could bring the Emperor back. And I will link their video down below of one of their episodes for their podcast, and to see how they answered my question about it. And see you guys with another video. Bye.